This is good. What is going on?
Who knows?
This is DETV's Good Morning Wilmington with Nadja and Jea.
And you know who I am, Jay. Good morning, everyone.
I think that we should start that because since I say Nadja and Jea, if you're going to say, and I'm Jay, after I've already said you're Jay,
right,
you should say something about yourself.
What should I say about myself?
Like, I think I looked back at a couple episodes and you were like, I'm a coffee snob.
Right.
Jay the coffee snob. Jay the biker.
Right.
Jay the yap advocate.
Okay.
Youth advocate.
Jay the singer-songwriter. Today I am Jay the singer-songwriter here for you.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Does that satisfy everyone? I don't know. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So today is, well, first of all, Happy Black History Month. I am Black History because of Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, I love that. That's a classy call.
Yes.
You know, she's...
Top that. Top that.
I don't think you can top Ella. There's no topping Ella.
Yes.
But I will say that I am Black History because of... You know what? I'm going to say my dad today. I'm going to say my dad. Yeah.
Oh.
He actually... That's actually... It totally jumped in my head right now. But... he sent me an article a couple of days ago, and there's been some more progress with what he has going on in the state. And long story short, as far as I understand, is there's going to be a reassessment of the property values, I think, of the county. And that's a big deal. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but congratulations to him for that step forward and everyone else working on making that happen, because property value reassessment is a big deal, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so Papa Jay, we love you. That's awesome. That's so sweet. Shout out to Keith James. He honored me yesterday for his Black History Month post, and I just want to thank him for that. It's really sweet. Number one, it's always a blessing to be thought of, but you know, he had really wonderful things to say about me, and it just was...
I just think it's funny that you're using this moment to highlight you getting shouted out. But okay, cool.
I am Black History.
I agree.
I am.
But yes, wonderful. We all think you're wonderful. I'm just saying.
Don't laugh at him. Don't laugh at him.
You did it, not me.
Wow.
But thank you, Keith, for shouting out our lovely co-host. We appreciate that.
I don't need you. I don't need your... No. So,
in today's news, I would like to start by saying thank you for shouting me out, everyone. I love you, and so on and so forth. Continue.
Wow. All right. So, it is the 3rd.
It is.
Wednesday. It is National Golden Retriever Day. It is National Signing Day. So I'm assuming that is sign language.
I have no idea.
National Women's Physician Day. National Carrot Cake Day. I
love carrot cake.
And National Feed the Birds Day.
You know, so is there any process?
That's a lot of days.
Well, like, how do you get on the list? Like, if I make a day right now, if it's like, I know you don't want this day.
You got to be someone like me.
Oh, okay.
Who gets honored.
Oh, all right. All right. That's how it works. Fine. All right. I just wanted, there's a lot of days on one day. And it's
I know, it's a little obnoxious, just a bit. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I should say that it's National School Counselors Week. And my wife, Lisa Street, is a school counselor. And my sister-in-law, Natasha Street, she is also a school counselor. And I could ramble on for a long time about the work that they do, the great work that they do. But, you know, if you know your school counselor, shout them out. Maybe bring them lunch or do something nice for them. Send them a note. Shout out to my wife for sure. I see her work every single day, all summer long. Like, she took a couple weeks off, but she stays grinding with her team. So, yeah.
Yeah, we honor you. We honor you.
We do.
It's also World Read Aloud Month. Oh,
yeah.
Yes, World Read Aloud Month. So DETV Kids has actually been partnering with United Way of Delaware. We have been doing segments called Storytellers, and it's a 30-minute storybook. We also have this 30-minute storybook corner with DETV Kids. Let me just say, to watch these kids come in and tell us about their favorite books. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So cute. I learned about a book called something the beautiful cockroach.
Okay.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, why would they make a book about a cockroach? But you know what? Anything to get these kids reading, because I did see an article that said 33% of kids are reading at third grade level.
You mean
so they're only reading at a third grade level.
But what if they're in first grade? You see what I'm saying? So like. But I got you.
You're on a roll today.
There are a lot of kids who are reading well below their reading levels. Is that what it's saying? I'm not trying to be as smart. Like, I would be happy if my kid was reading on a third grade level because she's not in kindergarten. But I got your point. Like, there are a lot of kids.
Brandon, get out. Everybody get out. I'm done. This is Pick on Nadja Day, and I'm not feeling it. Okay, I came in here. I had breakfast and coffee. I even bought donuts for people.
You did it. I appreciate the donuts.
No, don't talk to me.
All right, I'm not talking. Keep talking.
Don't talk to me.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, Bernice says, God bless the Honorable J.P. Street Sr. and others in working to have property values reassessed.
Miss Bernice, do you remember me working with the summer youth program? And this is literally, you can make fun of my age at this point, but this is literally, I was probably 20 years old, so we're talking about 23 years ago. I had a caseload of kids at Bernice's educational camp, and I'm pretty sure it's the same person, right? So do you remember me coming and dropping off my paperwork for the kids and getting you to sign the payroll stuff? Just want to say hi if that's you. That's all. Sorry. Hopefully she responds. But
thank you, Miss Bernice.
Yes, she's the best.
Saying that. So yeah. Make sure you are promoting the children to read, okay? I'm going to have Journey reading to me every night. And I know sometimes it can be a little hard because we already been staring at our children for the past year and some months because of COVID. But you know what? We're doing it for the babies. Yeah. So,
what books do you like to read to your kids? Do they have any ones that they love in
I said don't talk to me.
Okay, all right.
The books that I like to read, I like Soulway. I think that's how you pronounce it. The one that Lupita Nyong'o put out. I love all the Dr. Seuss ones. The one I like, the Are You My Mother? That my mom used to read that to me. Okay. Green Eggs and Ham, I could recite that off the top of my head.
That's impressive.
Don't talk to me.
Okay.
So yeah, read. It's important. So yes, read. You can talk to me now.
Oh, I can talk to you now. Okay. So you made Council President Trippy made a great cousin Trippy made a great post yesterday, basically asking for input on how we can make the city better. And you shared it and also made a really pretty awesome list of suggestions for what we could do to improve the city. And I was impressed with what you wrote down. Those are good ideas. I know that, I'm always kind of making fun of you and pushing your buttons, but I'm also have been like, hey, you should run for office. And I know that is not on your radar, but your suggestions were really on point. And I read through that list, and I don't know. Let's talk about how we can improve Wilmington. We said we're going to talk about it
How can we improve Wilmington?
Yeah, there's so many different things.
I think the very first thing we have to talk about is, why is it so hard to improve Wilmington? Why is that even a question?
I love this. Yeah.
Don't make me uncomfortable.
No, it's great.
Don't make me nervous.
No.
But why is it that we have to actually ask that question? When you run for office, when you've decided, you know what, I feel that I am adequate enough, educated enough, and selfless enough to stand in front of people who are in need and not in need, to be a guiding light, to be a role model, to help set standards and things that we need in our community. Why is it that we even have to question what you're going to do for us?
Sure.
I love the fact that cousin council president Trippy posted that, because you should always care what the people want.
Right.
Because they're the ones living in the city.
Yes.
And I loved reading what people were saying. I really did, because there was a lot that I didn't even know about. Because remember, I'm from the suburbs. I am very far removed from a lot of what the youth and the families deal with in Wilmington. So to see what these people were posting was really eye-opening for me.
What I love about your perspective is, well, number one, you are a city resident now. You purchased a home in the city of Wilmington, so you've been here for how many years at this point? Like,
it'll be 4 years this April.
So, I mean, you're definitely official in every single way, and now you see the differences. And I give you a hard time, but I think it's very valuable to have someone with an outside perspective who is like, well, I don't really know anything about anything, but this is what I see. And it's like, it's almost like when you bring somebody else into a recording project who has a totally different, you know, and it's like, oh, I never thought of that, because you're stuck in one way of thinking. And it's a valuable, that's why I was so impressed with what you wrote down, you know what I mean, in that post. So. Because
you thought I had no brain.
No, it was just like, no, because you could see. No, but you would see even in that post, you saw people who, you know, listen, I'm going to tread lightly here, but I read comments of people who have some influence over the city who made comments that were less helpful than yours.
Well, I think a lot of people, I don't know what it is, and maybe because I'm not a selfish person, but I always feel like whenever it comes to politics and you're thinking about the policies that you want in place, you have to think about the benefit of all, not the benefit of one. So you can't just think about your property. You can't just think about your car, your taxes. Like, everyone is affected by the decisions that these people make. So when you're casting your vote, you have to think of the benefit of all, the benefit of many.
Sure. So how about we step outside of politics, right? And just look at it objectively. And like, you know what? We're not even going to rely on elected officials to create the change that we want to see, right? You have the grassroots movements, and you have, you know, the culture that like people like you bring. Like, even when you were just doing your porch concerts, like that changes the culture without having to have any.
And people waiting on it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So just from a totally, you know, non-political perspective, if you had moved, you know, when you first moved to Wilmington, like, was like, okay, what did you say to yourself, and what do you say now? Like, what needs to be different? Not even think about this, whatever first comes in your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you want more?
There needs to be more compassion for the people who are less fortunate.
Okay.
You know, like, the fact that we have coat drives irks my entire soul.
Talk about it. Why?
Why is it that children, or number one,
the fact that we have to have a coat drive.
Yes. Why? Okay. Why is it that a mother and a father can't afford, like, you always have these people, this is a whole rabbit hole, but if I can start somewhere without going to the bottom of the barrel, right. You should be able to care for your children with the money that you make at your job. Yes. Whether you work at McDonald's or you're a CEO at AstraZeneca. You should be able to care for the basic necessities, which is coat, warm home, water, and food, right? But for some reason, we have so many children in Wilmington who are not only affected by their parent, you know, less income, right? You know, because there aren't enough jobs or enough education for the parents to get jobs, and so on and so forth. But then we also have the issue of being able to afford the things that you need. Like, and then when you go to get help for it, they have put you through, like, it's like trying to get a mortgage when all you need is some food stamps. When all you need is some TANF real quick so you could buy some baby formula or just sign up for WIC. You have to go through so much.
Right. I think, and it's weird that you would even have to have an argument about it, but I feel like if you are an adult and you work 40 hours a week and work, you know, actually work, that you should be able to, you know, live in a safe place that is safe.
Safe place.
That's it.
A place
that's keep the family safe and warm, and, you know, pay your fundamental bills. I don't know if that's like some weird socialist communist idea, but it just seems kind of basic. Like, if you're working, if you're adding anything to a business, like, it should compensate you at least enough. And if you want more, if you want to have like expensive things, fine, then you have to figure something else out. But like, if you're, you know, even just I don't know if you're a dishwasher for McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's no reason, like you washing those dishes is valuable to that establishment. And I understand that, like, you know, as a business owner, it's hard because you have all of your bills to pay, but like the people at the top are doing very well. And I think that that's, honestly, as we're kind of digging into this conversation, I think that's kind of fundamentally where our problems as Americans start, and I think that honestly is one of the places where we could really bring together this whole left, right, blue, red thing, because I think not everyone, but poor people in general, not just in the city, but from the worst part of Wilmington to the slums, or however you want to call it, to the trailer parks of West Virginia, they are all like, we can't make enough money. And I think everyone has a different sort of philosophy about how to get there, but like bridging that income gap where everyone can just be on an equal playing field, that is the fundamental place where I think as a country and as a state we have to improve. I mean, you and I know very well that there are some excessively wealthy people in this place, and it's not to say that they should give up all their money and donate it all to charity, but like there's a way to make it even for everyone. And I'm someone who's coming from a place of privilege, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have a problem with sacrificing,
right.
you know, and I don't even have that much to sacrifice.
Right.
I'm not the person who's making well over six figures. I'm just kind of getting by because I have education and so on and so forth. But like that poverty gap is real.
It is, and I think poverty, I think, is caused mostly because of the lack of education. Mm-hmm. Like there's this.
Listen. Yes, I'm so glad you said that.
Oh yeah, of course.
But everyone doesn't say
when
that.
I went to Gunning Bedford when I was in middle school, and we had a class. I think it was called Junior Achievement. I don't know if
I remember that. Yeah.
Have you been to the building?
The building right off of Third.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we went to Junior Achievement, but before we went there, we learned about all of the things that you would be dealing with at the building. Mm-hmm. I learned how to write checks, balance a ledger. I learned how to delegate where my funds were going because they gave you a fictitious life. So I had a child, or you had a pet, or an apartment, a mansion, car, whatever. It made it so that you could picture what your life would be like and how you could maintain it, and be an adult. That and home ec were the most valuable classes to me.
You mean that? That's really interesting.
Oh yes, of course, reading, writing, and arithmetic is important. But when you think about it, everyone's online talking about, where is the Pythagorean theory, whatever you call it, when you trying to do your taxes,
but I think,
or you trying to fix your faucet or figure out.
You're absolutely correct, though. And listen, here's how I'm going to piggyback what you're saying. Like, I went to Tower Hill School. I got an absolutely advanced.
And I love Tower Hill. Like, I want to send my babies there.
Why do you? Okay, cool.
That's a different conversation.
But like, I took all of these advanced physics classes with all of these wonderful experiments and this great equipment. And I remember programming on an Apple IIgs.
And now look at you.
And when all of these. And then I went to Morehouse College and got my. Well, we can't open that can of worms. And got my HBCU highfalutin degree. Mm-hmm. But when I came out of school, and this is still there's at some point it rests on my own shoulders. But I didn't understand credit scores and what the value. When I got despite all of my education, I remember freshman year they had the hunters. They were out there hunting, saying, "Hey, not my brother, but." Listen, you can get a credit card, and I got my credit card and ruined my credit score immediately. I got that. I think it gave me $800. I went straight to Macy's and wowed out on Ralph Lauren polo because I was trying to be fresh on campus. Like if someone had taught me that at Tower Hill, I might have been like, oh, this is a terrible decision. Right. And all of those basic maintenance things, like to this day, I still can do some things around the house, but like all of those things would have saved me money and made me be much more conscious of the importance of financial responsibility. Because even now, it's like I'm woefully deficient in that end.
Well, America, two things to this. America treats. with our pharmaceutical company, our healthcare system, we treat the symptoms, not the cause. But that's all around. We treat the symptoms of life in America and not the cause. So instead of focusing on making sure that we're educated enough to take care of our families and ourselves, they give us stuff to to calm us down, and help us take care of little things here and there, instead of educating us so we don't have to rely on those quick, fast microwave things.
Yes.
And it's funny, my friend Richard Raw, y'all know him, he's an activist, and I love Richard because I've learned a lot from him and Shah, his wife. The other day I shared the Trippy thing, and I said that, Wilmington is not a business, it's a place where beautiful people live. And Richard, he messaged me, he was like, it is a business and America's a corporation. And I replied to him saying that I know, I just want people to care. And he is 100% right. America is a business.
Sure.
Wilmington, Delaware, Ohio, it's all a business, because these upper people run this country for the money, period. We've seen that all over. But the people who want to change things, like Jay, like myself, like Sarah McBride, like Trippy, we care about the people. We care about the people only.
The funny thing that I don't think anyone is really conscious of is the fact that the people are the majority.
Right.
And for whatever reason...
Money!
But no. The divisions that are between the average people, I'm not going to go down a whole rabbit hole of how race creates division, this, that, and the other. There's all validity in that. But, just imagine if the trailer park in Sussex County was less concerned about, Trump versus Biden, black versus white, conservative versus liberal, and said, you know what? Those poor people up in Wilmington, they're suffering kind of the same way that we are, We can't get our fair shake. So why don't we all kind of talk a little bit, have a conversation, and figure out this common ground and get over all these divisive issues and be like, listen, we're going to vote for somebody who is going to start giving us a little bit more piece of the pie, because we should have more of the pie. Right. If that happened, and I would probably be on the outside of that conversation because I'm the Tower Hill Morehouse dude. But imagine if that happened, because on one hand, and this is why I love you slowly getting involved with this kind of stuff. It's yes, the politicians clearly they have power, but we elect them. For no good reason. If I'm not going to name a name, but supposing this is to be ridiculous, the person could do an excellent job, do everything you want, but if you wanted to, if everybody was on the same page, we could be like, bye, we want somebody else, and they're gone. And you can bring in somebody what if you had all of your ideas and we found 5 more people like you and said, everybody, including down south, we're going to put you in and this is your job. Do that. All of a sudden, things can be different. And that's why I get irritated about people who say that, I don't participate, this, that, and the other. You can, and it can make a difference.
Education.
I agree.
It's as simple as that. It's education. They only teach you in schools what are going to look good on statistics.
Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a doctor, you got to get good science grades. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah. But you still need basic life skills.
Absolutely.
You could be an astrophysicist, okay, honey?
Who can't balance?
Okay, don't. It's round. All the way around, you need basic education of the things that matter most in this country.
Well, what matters to me most right now is I want an Ethiopian restaurant to open up in Wilmington, Delaware.
Where did we even get?
Well, I thought we were talking about ways to improve
So you're
going
to talk about my transitions.
It was a terrible transition.
But
I
Jay
don't care.
And then you go, you know what?
So just what kind of other things would you just like to see in the city? Like another performing venue? Think about arts,
I would love to see. A couple years ago, I tried to very poorly, because I was young and dumb. I tried to put together a workshop, an arts workshop, and invite some of my voice friends. to come and participate in it. Like I said, it was poorly planned because I didn't know nothing about that kind of stuff. But I would like, people always think there's nothing to do in Wilmington, and there's especially nothing to do for the youth. Mostly because, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all the love in the world, I'm afraid of some of the kids in the city.
Now that's a valid point.
So I can imagine that there are other people who feel the same, and that is because of the things that we hear on the news, the crap that we see on Facebook. But coming from Jay and hearing about, I always ask him about his kids because I genuinely want to know, what are they like? You know, if I feel the way that I feel, I'm sure there are others. So I would like there to be some type of workshop or conference that happens all the time that these kids can look forward to. Whether you bring a rapper in to talk to them, and we do breakout rooms and all kinds of stuff, or you do a festival for the kids. Like everything in Wilmington is so geared to these tourists who don't give two craps about us, and is geared towards the adults who only have negative things to say, especially when it's a little bit above their price point of choice. But when you focus on our youth and what they might be interested in, then you have a better outcome for when they get older. And then it turns into, okay, well, since they did this for us, what can we do for that next generation coming in?
I'll say this, and I really mean this, that I would say that number one, I have traditionally for years worked with children who are on the far end of the poor behavior spectrum, right? Yeah. So I have kind of a skewed perspective on children. And even with that skewed perspective, I would say, and I've said this over and over again for years, 95 to probably 98% of the kids that I've worked with over the years, I've always felt like if I could, and it's maybe it's me not doing what I should do, but if I brought that kid home with me and adopted them and brought them into my home, you know, and they were under my under my care and my family, they'd be a different child. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they do some wild stuff.
Yeah.
And some of them, and this is the far end of it. You know, there's certain things like when you have a person who is, you know, in utero. With drugs going through their system, you know, that's a difficult problem to fix. You're talking about something biological. Well, but in terms of, but that's like most of the time these kids are just in a bad situation. And when I say, I'm telling you, I am not a big man. Okay, I'm small, and I have worked with kids who are much bigger and scarier looking than me. And 9 times out of 10, they're always respectful with me. They're always, I've never felt intimidated. Like, if anything, it's the little ones who always have something to prove, like want to bark up at you. But they're still kids.
They're,
you know?
humans. They are babies that need
love.
They're
babies.
Too. So let's continue this conversation.
Yes.
Maybe next Wednesday we'll talk, and maybe we'll have somebody to come and talk about it with us, because you know it's a continue. This is our city.
I just want an Ethiopian restaurant.
Really quickly, I want to circle back to World Read Aloud, or National Read Along Day. There we go. DETV is partnering with the United Way of Delaware for the entire month of February, starting today on National Read Along Day. Sam, there was a typo. I just want you to know. Every day this month, twice a day, DETV will be premiering DETV Kids Storytellers, where local celebrities, teachers, and authors read their favorite children's books. Also, check out the first episode of Storybook Corner that premiered this morning at 8 a.m. Storybook Corner is a 30-minute children's show where we stop by the Storybook Ladies Bookshop, hear kids' tales, and learn about Delaware's rich history through Delaware Diaries. Look out for these amazing kids programs on DETV's social pages and DETVCH.com all month long.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue the conversation. I just want to know who's gonna be my running mate, my campaign manager, and I just need to know like what my wardrobe budget is. And who gonna beat my face?
You should pat yourself on the back because you have good thoughts and ideas. And you know.
And I'm well liked. I just want to say, cause
you might not.
I made somebody list too. I just want to say I made a list, so. You
might not enjoy actually being.
No, I will not.
But you know your voice and your voice as a young person who is an artist and a mother in the city of Wilmington. You know, it's needed. You know what I mean?
You heard it here first. It's needed. I'm needed. We'll see you Monday. Thanks.